Skoda has been making cars for 125 years, and in that time it's brought out some very impressive cars, but arguably none are as impressive as this. It's the Enyaq iV. It's the company's new electric SUV. It's going to come in 3 different battery sizes, starting with a 55 kilowatt hour, then moving to 62 and a range topping 82 kilowatt hours. And these will be known as the Enyaq 50, 60 and 80 respectively. There's also going to be an all-wheel drive version and a sporty VRS model. Now, the Enyaq is built on Volkswagen Group's modular MEB platform. So that means all the battery is housed within the floor of the car, and that maximizes its space. Overall, it's about 4 centimeters shorter than the new Skoda Octavia, but in terms of space inside, it offers as much room as what you'll have in the larger Kodiaq SUV because of how the car is designed, and we'll show you more of that later in the video. Let's talk about looks for a moment, because I think Skoda has knocked this out of the ballpark. You've got this really sharp looking crystalline headlight design, and that will be available with matrix LED lighting. But then really you have this illuminated grille design at the front. It's made up of 130 LEDs, and it performs this really cool animated light feature, which you can see now when you open and close the car. Looks really, really distinctive. Not all of the Enyaq models will have this. This is going to be reserved for the top end models, but it looks really fantastic on the road. It really makes this car stand out. Other than that, you then have these sharp elements here around the front, and these add to the kind of sporty, broader sense that the front of the car has. Now, that sharp crystal look continues around the rear, and it's really obvious with these quite striking looking taillights. Like all of Skoda's latest models, the name now is spelled proudly across the back. You have Enyaq badging here, and this denotes the 80 model, so this is the 82 kilowatt hour version. The electrically operated boot lid lifts to reveal quite a generous 585 litres of boot space. It's got a good low load height, so you're not going to have to struggle to get heavy items in, and there's power sockets in the rear and storage here on the side for your charging cables. The range will kick off with the rear-wheel drive 55 kilowatt hour 50 version, which has a power output of 148 horsepower and a driving range of 340 kilometers. The 62 kilowatt hour Enyaq iV60 gets a more powerful 179 horsepower output and slightly longer driving range of 390 kilometers. Skoda's range champion will be the 82 kilowatt hour Enyaq iV80 with 204 horsepower and an expected driving range of 510 kilometers. From there, the range moves to the all-wheel drive Enyaq iV80X with a dual motor setup putting out 265 horsepower and boasting a 460 kilometer range. Topping off the range is the Enyaq iV VRS, which is the most potent with a 306 horsepower output, dual motor setup and a 460 kilometer range. The Enyaq will also be able to charge at up to 125 kilowatts thanks to the combined CCS charger here. Up front there is quite a lot of space, and we'll show you through some of the features. You have, obviously it's very practical, so you've got a fully adjustable steering wheel, lots of adjustment there, that's quite good. But really what stands out is this open modern look to it. Unusually there's a small 5.3 inch digital display in front for the instrument cluster. Now that's small in comparison to most, but Skoda takes a different approach to it. It's going to have a much larger head-up display, and then you have this vast 13-inch display. So this will be featuring on most of the higher grade models, and has all the usual infotainment system that you'd expect, but just served up on a much larger screen. It looks really impressive, and Skoda makes this exclusively for the Enyaq. Looks fantastic, it's quick to use. You do have all of your temperature settings always displayed here along the bottom, and then you have this touch bar as well, so if you want to increase like your volume, for example, you can do that, or you can just simply turn it off. There are some physical buttons along the bottom here, so you have your parking assist, different drive modes, and obviously your climate functions as well. Further on, there are 2 wireless charging pads here, and that's really useful to have 2 of them. That means you and your passenger can charge their devices at the same time. You've got 2 large cup holders, another additional large storage here, because this is a shift-by-wire transmission, so you only have this quite small, stubby little gear selector. Then you have your electric handbrake, and you then have further storage underneath here. So there is tons of space, and that's obviously not mentioning the fact that under there is even more space to put any kind of oddments like a wallet or a small bag. So on the practical side, Skoda has done a really superb job in this respect. It just looks really, really sharp. I mean, granted, this is the higher spec model, so it has this really nice leather and cross stitching on it, but even when you look at the more regular models, the quality seems really, really good, and I think people are going to be quite impressed by what this offers inside. There is loads of passenger space in the back of the Enyaq iV as well, easily on par with any large SUV. As you can see, I've got a lot of legroom in front of me thanks to the way these seats are designed, and headroom is actually better than I would have expected, because even though it's got a sloping roofline, there are these kind of indents in the roof upholstery, and that just adds a bit more room ahead. Now you've got space in the back for a seat pocket, and you've also got room to pop in a device. Speaking of which, you have 2 USB-C ports below at the back of the center console, and there's also a 230 volt power socket, so that's very handy for ensuring that everything is charged up in the back. Even the middle seat actually fares quite well on account of this not having a bulky transmission tunnel. So although it's not quite as comfortable as the 2 outer seats, there's easily enough room that I can comfortably sit here on a longer journey, so it's not that bad, and I've got a great field of vision in front of me. Now I'm sitting inside the Enyaq with Marwan, who is really the man responsible for it looking the way it looks. So tell us what you've done here. This is pretty impressive looking.
So if you like it, it's already the big sign. So it's for us, with the Enyaq, we didn't want to go through a different kind of let's say word. We have our design DNA. We wanted to continue in the same shape. You know, some design feature that we have from the Enyaq, from the Octavia. One of them is this wing that we are emphasizing here with the soft pad. This wing is for us functional, as you know already from the Octavia. It's a way where we put our hand to use this kind of an amazing 13-inch screen that we will have for the first time in Skoda, and give us this feeling of home, because it's soft. You feel that you are sitting in a sofa.
Yes, yeah.
And this is what we wanted to emphasize in this Enyaq, is that imagine you're at home and you're not sitting anymore in this wooden chair that you're eating. You're sitting on this sofa where you have the TV in front of you, where you're really relaxed and having this cocooning feeling. We still have this protection because we played it as well with the wraparound, with this line that goes from the door completely around you, which is harder. It's a hard line that makes you feeling, let's say, safe. And we as well, this wraparound with the wing, we went as well into the door that is really wrapping you, and you have this feeling. You put your hand in the, or let's say arm on the soft area, on the middle console, on the door as well, when you touch to somehow feel this softness. So that's why I was talking about this sofa at home.
This screen, 13 inches, absolutely, it looks huge, even in a big SUV like this. Was it always a plan to have such a big screen? Is this a sign of where technology is going? Are we going to see even more of this from Skoda? It's
actually kind of a bit more complex than that, because we are thinking more about the UX and all the user experience that the driver has. And as we are Skoda, we are symmetrical. We are as well democratical in the space, so the driver has the same right as the co-driver. So we said, For the Enyaq, we have, for the first one, the augmented reality head-up display, and we believe that what you need in front of the driver, it's only the driver or the driving elements that they need to be connected to the
like
driver.
Your speed and things like that.
And
so yeah,
the screens get smaller there. And then we went with the bigger screen in the middle that is allows to the driver and the co-driver to have much more information, much more detailed information. It's allowing us as well to split the screen. Even if we have the air conditioning down and the home and menu, we still have a big amount of information that can come for the driver and for the co-driver. So it was a kind of really a user experience task that we wanted to move to the next level with the Enyaq.
And obviously we want to be connected all the time. So you've been very useful and democratic again in how you've put in 2 wireless charging pads here. So nobody's going to have an argument about that.
The middle console for us is one of the, let's say, the newest thing in Skoda, and as well for the electrical car, because it's a new platform. Usually we have the gear shifter here, so we have a nice tunnel that we can cover.
Yeah, and now you have extra storage underneath as well.
So that was a thinking of having, as you said, 2 phones that you can really plug, democratic, co-driver, driver. We have the 2 cup holders. We have a nice storage, small one to put, people can put whatever they want.
And it's quite useful. Sometimes these are really small. This is actually a large size.
We really separated the phone space from a different storage. So now you cannot put many things on top of your phone and so on. And as you said just now, a few seconds ago, we have a big, nice storage down to put your small handbag, to put your small wallet or whatever, a small bag that you bought from the pharmacy or something.
Yeah.
Put it there quickly, you go out, you take it out. So this is as well the advantage of the new platform.
And this new steering wheel as well looks quite impressive with these new, quite unusual controls that you have on this.
Actually, funny that you say unusual. For us, it's pretty usual for Skoda, because we are touchscreen, and this is as well touch with the user experience. We didn't want to go with touchpad on the steering wheel. We still wanted to have like buttons that you have a tangible feedback. We played with this roller that we already had in the past. So let's say the logic that we had in Skoda in the past, we kind of kept it, but we treat it like a kind of jewel. And many people are saying the steering wheel is for us very important, because in the exterior you have the logo of the brand in the front, in the rear, on the wheels. On the interior we have it only here, and we wanted to like somehow treat this element with the airbag in a way that is a clean surface, free floating in the middle, with the nice logo in the center. So
and you have this gap around it.
This gap is really like we wanted it to create this kind of lightness on the steering wheel, to really keep this kind of element floating in the middle where the logo is sitting, which is for us is very important.
Just to move back again to, you mentioned materials. You're obviously trying to be more sustainable now, like many car makers. And some of the materials that you will offer in the Enyaq are much more, they're recycled materials. And so what do you do with these?
It's really an important topic for us, I think for everybody, even for a normal life. The leather is definitely like a leather that it was treated, and it's eco, you see it more in the seat here, it's eco olive leather, which is treated in a way that is completely sustainable, eco-friendly, and this will not come only with the leather, it will come as well with all the materials that we have in all the design selection that we will offer in the future. So we stand for our planet, as many people are saying, and I think we are a big, let's say, gamers in this kind of big, complex world situation.
And even something like recycled plastic bottles and some of the other things like that. So,
we worked really on a lot of things. Now we will have these design selections, which we will emphasize a lot of materials. Here we have the leather in the Fountain Edition, we have textiles, we will have as well plastics. So, as I said, it's an important topic for us, and we wanted to be part of it.
So that's our first detailed look around the Skoda Enyaq. Hope that you've enjoyed it. We'd love to know what you think about it, so get involved in the comments below and tell us what you think. You can find out more about this car on CompleteCar.ie. And as ever, we appreciate you watching. Please do give the video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the Complete Car YouTube channel.